There's no question that shopping at Costco can save you money on groceries, as well as furniture, electronics, travel arrangements, and more. That, in theory, should feel good and make you eager to go there. But there exists a real downside: Costco anxiety. If you have it, you're not alone. With so many departments to shop in, so many choices in each, and so much in the way of bulk offerings, the thought of a trip to Costco could bring up feelings of anxiety and dread. So much is at stake, after all. There are deals to be had, but which ones are right for you? Should you be focusing just on groceries? You've heard the rotisserie chicken is the best deal on chicken anywhere, but should you spend time waiting in the deli for the next batch to come out? Or should you be using your time to get a great deal on iPads or a flat-screen television?
Your wife sent me. You're supposed to be getting chicken nuggets and milk.
Yes, Costco anxiety is real. You are not alone. One of the most terrifying things about Costco, at least for some people, is the sheer size of its warehouses. The average Costco store is reported to be around 146,000 square feet. To offer a bit of perspective on how gargantuan that actually is, we did a bit of research and found that the average Whole Foods is between 25,000 and 50,000 square feet, and the average Trader Joe's is 15,000 square feet. Writing for Eating Well, Lauren Wicks described her anxiety-inducing first trip to Costco. She recalled, "There were giant TVs to my left, stuffed animals and toys to my right, then a sea of massive aisles of stuff, for lack of a better word, for what felt like miles in front of me. I took a big gulp and entered the maze." But it's not just the square footage of Costco stores that can feel overwhelming. As Wicks went on to say, the shelves were absolutely massive, and they had to be to fit the 10-pound bags of rice stacked on top of each other. It's easy to imagine that hoisting such large-sized bulk items from the shelf to the cart would easily overwhelm someone for whom 10 or 25 pounds is a significant load, making their Costco trip just that much more anxiety-inducing.
If I was an insane person, I would buy this 1,000 foam cups. I'm just gonna walk away.
One of the reasons Costco is able to offer such good deals on its items is that it sells them in bulk. That means, among other things, that Costco doesn't have to pay anyone to unpack its warehouse-sized boxes and arrange them neatly on its shelves. Ostensibly, some of those savings are passed along to the customer. The only problem is that even the most skilled Costco shopper will occasionally be faced with the decision of whether to buy something in bulk when they know that they really only need a fraction of the bulk size. In her Eating Well piece, Lauren Wicks recalled facing that dilemma, writing, "I began searching for semi-normal sized amounts of my usual staples. Would I even be able to eat through these bulk items prior to reaching their best before date in 2022? Looking at you, 18-ounce container of garlic powder." Of course, such questions can lead to so many others. For example, would it be worth calling a friend to see if they want to split said bulk item? And if so, what will the logistics of that look like now that you have to coordinate your bulk purchases with at least one other person? And there's still the question of whether you have the space to store a bulk-sized version of an item. As all the questions and unknowns mount, so too could the anxiety. Let's say that you've battled your way through the anxiety of making your way through a seemingly endless maze of aisles packed from floor to ceiling with enormous boxes. And let's say that you've already used up the brain cells required to calculate that it is, in fact, more likely than not that you will use up 2 48-ounce jars of peanut butter before they go bad, sometime around 2 to 3 months after you open them, according to Healthline. Even then, there's still the matter of how you're going to handle and store your massive purchases, not to mention the matter of how you're going to feel about carrying those purchases to the trunk of your car. That daunting prospect dawned on Laura Wicks while shopping at Costco. She wrote, "There was no way I was going to be able to haul more than a few items at a time to my car. I felt like everyone was laughing at me as they watched me try to fit, wrestle, a 2-quart jar of soy sauce next to a 3-liter tin of extra virgin olive oil into my little canvas bag." In other words, to paraphrase Gloria Estefan, in one way or another, eventually the anxiety is gonna get you. This is a topic that most devoted Costco shoppers don't seem to like to talk about. It's the weirdness of being required to stand in line in order to leave Costco, after you've already endured a maddeningly long checkout line. But that's exactly what the deal is at Costco. When all you want to do is get in your car and drive home, some dude in a red vest is standing there demanding to check your receipt, and being trapped in a giant warehouse until it's your turn with red vest guy could arguably feel like a threat to one's autonomy. After all, you can't leave on your own terms. According to Psychology Today, losing autonomy is one of the 5 primal fears we all share. Who even knew such a massive, sprawling space could feel so claustrophobic? For some people, checking receipts might feel accusatory. A cheapism piece complained that although the process is apparently meant to prevent overcharging customers, the receipt check, quote, makes us feel like criminals, and waiting in yet another line after we just got done checking out is especially irritating. In a Reddit thread addressing the issue, some commenters used phrases like, get so up in arms, or hate it so much to describe their reactions to being held up just footsteps away from freedom. There are a lot of reasons why you might feel anxious during a shopping trip to Costco, and many have to do with the enormity of it all. But this one has to do not with the size of the store, but rather with the amount of importance we've come to place on getting a bargain on groceries. Of course, staying within one's budget is important, and while bargain hunting should be a personal endeavor with benefits that are personal to you, thanks to the influence of social media, it can sometimes feel like a competition to see who saved the most money and who found the best deals. One could argue that Costco gets people to spend more money by appealing to the fear of missing out on deals and the chain's ever-rotating inventory. Even famous rappers.
I never knew the beauty of Costco. And one day I woke up and I had like an epiphany and I was just like, let's go to Costco.
Someone who feels anxious from Costco FOMO might want to blame the media, pointing to articles and videos about Costco hacks as contributing factors. But here at Mashed, at least, the intentions behind such pieces are pure. We genuinely want you to know how to make your way through Costco in the most economically advantageous manner possible. What we don't want is for you to experience Costco anxiety. So perhaps now that you know some of its possible root causes, you'll be able to find a way to outsmart it.
Problem solved.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Mashed videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.